Hello, this is DWEEB, and tonight I am making a video of the third game in the 2007 Internet Challenge Tournament between the US and the UK. This will be a live cockpit video tonight, as I am playing against Jason Brown of the US. This tournament is the best of 9 games, and it currently stands at 1 game apiece. Okay, and we're off, and we can see our rack at the top of the screen, but it's Jason to go first. We do not have a good rack, so we will be looking to score and leave ourselves a reasonable rack lead, which is not going to be easy. The problems with our rack are the V, the duplicate N, the duplicate A, and the rack in its entirety is undesirable. We do have the X, but it's not going to be easy to score well with the X, because neither the C, the N, nor the V go to make a 3-letter word with the X using just the tiles on our rack. If we had to make a play with the tiles as they are, for example if Jason were to change his letters, then VAC, V-A-C, would be a candidate move, or VAN, V-A-N. Okay, Jason has played Oak. We could play Annex down here, but it doesn't score very much, and it does leave the V and C combination on our rack. So we'll look for something better than that. Well, it's difficult to see a move which is good. I think what I'm going to play, well, I was going to say VAC and Coke, V-A-C and Coke, leaving A-double-N-X. And I think I will play that. There are difficulties in seeing any good move with that rack, but this has defensive advantages. By defensive advantages, I mean that playing the V here means that plays down here and here cannot be made because there are no 2-letter V words, and plays across here are limited to words which end in an S. And hopefully that will obstruct Jason's ability to score with his next rack. This rack is better than our previous one. There are a few more words with an X in that can be played, such as Lanx, L-A-N-X, playable across here, or Lynx, L-Y-N-X, in the same place. And another possibility is the word Xylan across here, X-Y-L-A-N. It is most likely that that is what I shall play if this line remains open. Jason plays Halights, so first blood to Jason in terms of getting a bingo, and time for us to mount a heroic comeback. I'm looking for opportunities to play the X and score well. Xylan scores 30, and the rack leave of I-L-N is okay. I can't see a better move than that, so that is what I shall play. And there probably was a better move than that, because I appear to have been immediately punished by the tile gods with a U, a V, a duplicate N, and a duplicate I. There are limited opportunities on this board to sort out the rack as it stands. I certainly want to split up the U and the V. I do have an N on the rack, so keeping the U is not as bad as keeping the U without an N. Jason plays Ponged. I can see that one possibility is to play VIN down here for 22 points, which sorts out the duplicate letters, gets rid of the V, and scores reasonably well. Let's see if we can see anything better. I can't see anything better, so I'm going to play VIN. And we pick up another U. Jason cannot use this triple word square because there are no two-letter words beginning with V. He can, however, use this line if he has an E, an S, or a Y. If he doesn't, then we have this line open to us here to put our F on this triple letter square. The problem with using this triple letter square with the F is that we would have to place an I immediately below it, here, with a word such as fin or fur, but we would keep both U's on our rack, and we would like to avoid doing that if we can. We do have the word unfurl on our rack, UNFURL, but there is nowhere currently to play it. And Jason takes that triple letter square with his own F and plays fitters for 85 points. Jason takes a commanding lead of about 130 points. We do have unfurls across here for 20 points, which sorts the rack out, but we do need to look to see if there is anything better, particularly down this final column. IF takes an F after it, so we can put our F there. But there are no words starting with F using the tiles from our rack that can play downwards, so that option can be rejected. And none of the letters on our rack can go here next to the R. And there are no words playable down here from our rack which use up one of the U's, which is essential. Therefore, I think I am going to play unfurls. We are behind, so we need to open the board up, and unfurls certainly does that. I'm just pausing to do one last check that there isn't a bingo on the rack. It's unlikely with two U's and an F. But we do have an E and an R and an S floater. Down here, which we need to consider. I can't see anything through them, so I will play unfurls. and I pick up a decent rack. It's not a bingo rack, but there's a good mixture of vowels and consonants and the Z, so it should be possible to score well with this rack. I can't see any plays which use the Z down here. I do have diatso across here, which scores in the late 20s. But it would be nice to score a bit more than that. I've got FIZ down here, which scores 35 and leaves a decent leave of ADONT. But is there anything better? Well, we have diatso across here, as well as across here, and the lower position scores more. Another bingo from Jason would probably be the nail in the coffin. And Jason plays off 4 vowels, so that suggests he had a pretty horrible rack. One thing I'm immediately looking at is whether I can stick my Z on this triple letter score and also play a word through this I and this double word score. I can't see such a play, but that doesn't mean there isn't one. The play I'm looking to play at the moment is Fizz. As well as scoring well, that's Fizz down here, as well as scoring well, it stops Jason from using this triple letter square in the way that I was hoping to use for my Z. Right, that's played, and we pick up the Q. We don't have a U, we don't have an I for QI, but what we do have is QAT and QANAT. But is there any way to play them? Well, let's just mention straight away that if this U here isn't used, then we can play quant down here, QUANT. We've also got quoad in the same place, QUOAD, and that leaves ANT on our rack, which is a pretty good leave. And Jason plays TOE, which is good for us because that leaves open our quoad spot. Now we have an interesting situation here. We've got quoad down here, but we've also got it down here. Let's see which scores more. The one which goes through the triple word square scores 45. And the other scores 43. I'm going to take the 45 because it stops my opponent from using the triple word square. But before I do either, we must check to see if there's anything better. Not that I can see. Let's get it down. And we pick up AADLNPT. I can't see any 7-letter bingos there. There may be some 8-letter bingos, but there are very few floating there are very few floaters on the board from which to create an 8-letter bingo. We're 65 points behind, and it's Jason's move, so I would expect to be about 100 points behind after his move. So our position is somewhat forlorn at this stage, but not hopeless. Well, not completely hopeless. Just looking at what to do if the board were to remain as it is, in other words, the opportunities that are currently available to us. I can see Lady down here for 20 points. And the advantages of that, apart from the score, is that the leaves are reasonable of PANT, and we open up this bingo lane. And given that we are so far behind, we would like to have an open board. Jason plays G, and he's probably got in mind to close the board down so that if I have a bingo, I have limited opportunities to play it, and from his point of view, hopefully none. One word I'm looking at playing as a result of Jason's play is adapt down here, putting the P on the triple letter square, which will score well. The rack leave isn't great, being LN, so we're very much in the hands of the tile gods as to what we pick up. And it should be noted that there are no blanks left because Jason has already played both of them. One advantage of the adapt play is that it opens up this bingo lane down here, and if Jason doesn't close that down immediately, were we to get a bingo precisely where that line is, we would have a double, which should score reasonably healthily. I can't see anything better than adapt, so I'm going to play it. And it scores 33 points. Well, we're only 50 points behind now. So we are slowly clawing back some of the deficit, but we are still effectively a bingo behind. We don't have a bingo-y rack, but we do have the J. And Jason scores 36 points with remelted. But one good aspect of his move is that he opens up a lot of floaters for plays coming down onto these 4 letters here, and he's left open this line. One nice way of scoring well would be to get the J on that triple letter square, playing down onto the E. But I don't know if we have got a word with our rack that can do that. One of the new words to enter the Scrabble dictionary this year is JA, and that opens up the possibility for us to play a word like JO down here for 39 points. It does take out the double line, but it leaves open these 3 floaters down here. But is there anything better than JO? Yes, there is. We can play Roji, R-O-J-I, down here, and the advantage of that is that it opens up a bingo lane down here, whereas with the J-O play down here, then no bingos were possible down here because no letter can go in front of J-A to make a 3-letter word. Our rack leave is poor with CLN because there are no vowels, But we can see from the remaining tiles that there are quite a few vowels in the bag, including 4 E's. Roji scores 43 points, and I can't see anything better. And we pick up a reasonable rack. We pick up one of the 4 E's. Unfortunately, we've got a duplicate N, and I can't immediately see a bingo on this rack. One possibility is to play Luna down here. Luna. Scores 21 points and leaves CENT. So that's our starting point in terms of finding a reasonable move and then looking for a better one. Jason plays Bob, which scores well and takes out 3 bingo lanes. We've still got 2 bingo lanes open. We've got the one down here and the one across here. So I'm going to play Luna because I can't see anything better. Ooh, and that is not a nice rack. It's not a bingo-y rack, but the high scoring letters on the rack usually would mean that you would be able to score quite well, but the opportunities for scoring well with these letters on this board are limited. One play we could make is WHID across here, WID, but that leaves the Y on our rack, and it would be nice to get rid of WH and Y. We could do that by playing way down here, WHEY. Scores over 20 points. But is there something better? We've got the Y, and that can be placed here to make KY. So if we've got... Let's just see what Jason's done. He's played Jibe for 24. And he's played that down here. It doesn't open any new opportunities for us. One word we could play is WYE across there, which scores in the 30s, but it leaves CHNT on our rack. Now the CH combination is pretty good, but what does concern me is the fact that I'm losing my E. However, looking at the remaining tiles, I can see a reasonable number of vowels, 7 of them, including 3 E's. So, is Y for 33 points the best move? I can't see anything better, so I'm going to play it. And I'm blessed with picking up another U and a duplicate N. And no bingo. But I'm only 41 points behind. So hope has not completely evaporated, but it has now. Jason gets another bingo with Cirrhosis. Is Cirrhosis good? I know Cirrhosis... Well, I think Cirrhosis is good. I don't think challenging is going to materially influence the likelihood of winning, so I'm going to challenge. And it's fine. Right, there are no tiles in the bag. And we can see that Jason has played off 3 S's and picked up the last S, together with 2 E's. And he's got a pretty reasonable last rack. So we have undoubtedly lost this game, but our job now is to minimise the amount by which we lose. Jason does not have a bingo on his rack and there are no tiles in the bag, so effectively that means that we can plan to play out in 2 moves. We could play chin down here, leaving NUT, which could then be played across here if it wasn't taken. But Jason may well use this line here to play Muse if we let him. He's also, as the board stands, got Mewed down here. So that suggests to me that we certainly need to be playing in this area to block those opportunities. One possibility I've seen is Tunic down here for 28 points. It's a nice move. It blocks off both of those opportunities for Jason. The downside is that it leaves HN on my rack. What I'm looking for is the opportunity to play HN next go. And I can certainly play HANNOW across there, but if Jason spots that that's my only place, he is likely to block it. I'm a little short of time, as you can see. 1:41. Jason has 7 minutes left. I think I'm going to have to play Tunic because I'm running out of time and the game is undoubtedly lost. Just looking around for opportunities to play off my individual letters if I can't play both of them. And certainly I could put the H on this square for 26 points. And NAH across here would be better than HAN. But at the moment I am expecting Jason to block that. He can play MAWS across there. But he doesn't. He plays elsewhere. He plays WEM down here. But that does have the effect of blocking my outplay of NAH. And he's left himself with reds on his rack, and there are several places he can play that. I'm running out of time. I'm going to play high and hom. Let's see how many people have been watching this game. Quite a few. Okay. Jason goes out with reds. That's fine. I will click pass to end the game. And Jason wins. Well done, Jason. And that means that the US are currently leading 2-1 in this 9-game series. Right, let's do what I always do after a game on the Internet Scrabble Club, is take advantage of this examine facility, which means that we can look for missed bingos, and we're going to play this pretty quickly. Let's just see if we missed anything. The reason we look for missed bingos is that missing a bingo is usually very expensive in terms of points lost and games lost. Well, nothing's come up so far. play out the final few racks. Right, that's the end of that. We didn't miss any bingos. I won't know how well I've actually played until I've examined the game. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments on it, I would be very grateful to receive them. I'm fairly new to creating Scrabble videos, and I'm not aware of any other Scrabble videos that have been created, so this is very much a new territory, and I would like to make the product as enjoyable as possible, so I would be grateful for any comments. Anyway, thank you for watching. Good night.